You wanted it, you're finally getting it. So I got a new battery for my crappy action cam, and the audio's terrible, the picture quality is terrible, the screen on the camera doesn't work, but I managed to get some footage. This is from a couple of days ago. I think it was on Friday. On Friday they were doing this. I think it was like, let me just get my emails out. So this is a new fancy restaurant in the Oracle. So Deliveroo are doing a lot of surges. Here we go. Friday. Make an extra 150 on all orders between 6 and 10. That was on Friday, that was on Saturday, and on Sunday I think it was an extra, maybe it was 150. Yeah. So all of their busy days at the moment they're doing surges, or at least it seems that way. And the Sundays they've said they've committed to doing for I think the whole of October. This little surgy thing, because it really is busy. Okay, so I've got my box here, as you can see. Still messing with the configuration, but I'm still happy with it. Another little Deliveroo, not seen her before. Actually, I think I've seen her once before, not spoken to her though. Right. So, what else have we got to talk about? And another Deliveroo. So, a couple of interesting things. Let me see. What should we start off with? What I'm doing here is, if there's security around, you're not allowed to ride on the bridges, and you're not allowed to ride on the side that I was just on, although you can ride on this side. And there's stairs on the other side of this bridge, so I was just walking my bike across. Not the end of the world, not losing much time there. Just going to carry my bike down the stairs and I'll be away. So I apologise for the audio coming off the camera. It's picking up intermittently, picking up quite a lot of static, I think. I don't know why it does that. It's a crappy camera. Another Deliveroo. So, right, so it looks like this George bloke has thrown down on me, calling me a scumbag because I was using my referral code. So, and I said that I would open a can of whoop-ass, so I kind of feel obligated to. I haven't really prepared this in advance, so I'm going to just ad-lib it. So, let me see, right. Deliveroo are offering, and it varies. It was 100, then it went to nothing, then it went to 50. Now they put it up to 200 for cyclists. And I was offering, if people use my code, to, as well as the £50 at Deliveroo will give the no, I think I'm the referrer. I was offering to give £20. And that made me a scumbag because I was offering to do that because it was 200 and I was offering to give £20, which is like 10%. Just indicating across this busy junction here. It's a bit of a dangerous one. So, with the content that I make and the questions that I answer and the emails that I answer in my own time, because I want to, because I'm happy to help people, because Deliveroo very regularly offer very bad support to their riders, and I'm quite happy to do what I can for people, and I have done for over a year. And for what purpose? I do have adverts on some of my videos. I can't say I earn a lot of money from that. I definitely don't earn the money that is in the time that it takes me to make the videos. I can tell you that is a fact, considering that it's a mere fraction of a penny. I think it's something like, let me see if we can work this out. I don't know. Anyway, it's really... So I've got a couple of channels on YouTube, and if I wanted to give you full disclosure, I would say that every month I earn about £30. So for one of the channels, let's say it's about half. Let's say I earn about £15 a month from YouTube. Which isn't exactly going to pay any bills, is it? So, out of all of the people online which spam their referral codes absolutely everywhere and don't offer anything, I produce content weekly, answer God knows how many questions, and I use my referral code, offer to give somebody something back, and I'm the scumbag. I think that that's... quite amusing. So, George, you internet troll, you, if you don't like it, you know what you can do. Yeah. So I'm just coming up to my first delivery now. Just up here on the left. Of course, George is welcome to his opinion. But I'm interested to hear what you guys think. Do you think that I am a scumbag? Because, what happened there is the lady is up in the window. You can't really see her, but up on the far left. And she was kind of gesturing up. And I thought she meant back as in round back. So I got a little bit confused here because... there's like a weird, strange thing over this gate stopping it from being opened, and then I open it and realise it's because it's a dead end. So, and then I see the stairs next to it, but we get to that. And she was a nice lady. She gave me a £1 tip, cash. Cash is always better than card. And another thing about the referrals, Deliveroo are very good at not paying for referrals. They make all types of excuses. So... yeah, what can I say? They're more likely... see, it's dead end. So they're more likely to pay the person being referred, because in the past I've seen like people have like one person's contacted me and said, yeah, they did pay. And I contacted Deliveroo and said, so I made this referral. Yeah, you're going to pay me? And they were like, no, sorry, you made this referral at the wrong time and you can't have the money. I was like, oh, whatever. So, I don't know. And now I've got a double, so now I'm off to my second delivery, which I think is also quite close. Now, one thing, this is the first day I'd ridden my bike after I'd done a little bit of a service, and this is the first time I've adjusted disc brakes, because I've never had disc brakes before. They're not hydraulic, they're just the tension ones, the cheap ones you can get. And one thing I didn't realise until towards the end of the shift is they were too tight, and I'm actually getting resistance from the brakes. So although I do ride slowly in general, I'm on a mountain bike with front suspension, so it's going to be quite a heavy frame. Well, the frame isn't heavy itself, it's aluminium, but the front suspension's heavy. So as well as being on a... oh my god, that friction is terrible. So as well as being on an MTB with knobbly tyres, I've also got the brakes, front and brakes on slightly. I didn't realise until much later. So that's one of the reasons why I'm riding slowly. Got to fix that actually. I did the second shift and I forgot to do it. I took Allen keys with me, but I didn't have the right Allen key to do it, so I've got to do it before tomorrow, which is my next shift. Yeah, so I'm just going past Reading College around the back, and I'm just headed to my second delivery. Oh, I'll save it for when it actually happens. That's if the delivery goes up, the video lasts that long. I think it will. Anyway, on the subject of referrals, and I'm not sure how I'm going to do this, but I've had more emails from Deliveroo about an extra special bonus. So I think what I want to do is offer. Oh, and I had a green light, which is awesome. Here, is maybe to say that the person being referred with my code is going to get £100 from me and 50 from Deliveroo. Also, bearing in mind, another factor to bear in mind is, and this is like a total first world problem, but one thing which Mr. Scumbag George, was that his name, doesn't realise is that I would have to pay tax on that value, not the value that I actually receive, unless I get some kind of receipt from the person that I would be giving the money to. So if I'm giving, when I just said that I would be prepared to do that under special circumstances, give the £100. So the person being referred would be getting more than me anyway. So under these special circumstances, I would do that. But Mr. Scumbag George doesn't realise is that I would be paying tax on the full amount. So, Mr. George Scumbag, are the people using my code scumbags? I don't know, because they aren't offering to give me a receipt, a tax-deductible receipt? I don't know. You tell me, Mr. Scumbag George. Yeah, I'll look out for your comments. Or don't, Feel free to not watch my videos. Feel free to also make help videos for other people. That would be great. Yes. Anyway, I'm not bitter. I'm just being I'm being cynical. It's my humour. Just ignore it. Okay, so I'm a bit confused here because the map says that the road goes straight on and all that there is that archway, and I'm a bit like, huh? But it does. Well, it's not the road, it's a car park, but on the map it looks like a road. It says that it's a road, but it's not. Are we still recording? Yeah, we're still recording. So what else have we got to talk about Deliveroo related? Self-serve is coming soon. I've already made a couple of videos on that. Had another try, and I was a little bit annoyed about this one, I must admit. Somebody in my own area commented on 2 of my videos, like, criticising me. I'm like, what? Why didn't this guy just, like, tell me? Or we're in a chat group, for God's sake, but he felt it necessary to do it. I was a little bit annoyed about that, but not to the extent that it bothered me. Yeah, supposedly my videos could be 50% shorter. Okay, well, watch half of them then. I think my delivery is just on the right there. It's quite nice. Like, I didn't realise that this place existed. It's like a little gated. It's quite a large area, but it's in the centre of Reading. Just really close to the town centre. I imagine these properties are worth quite a lot of money. I'm not saying I'd like to live there. It's just nice that it's so quiet in this little area, yet it's surrounded by two of the busiest roads in Reading. Anyway, that's not why you're watching the video. Yeah, so my next delivery is pizzas, and you can see how the pizzas go in the box. They were large pizzas, if I remember correctly. The only ones that don't fit. Now, the reason I'm hesitating here is because there was no door numbers on the doors. And I'm like, what? How's this going to work? But I think it was just on one floor. And in the rules of Deliveroo, it's always the top floor. Not that I mind that much. Here we go. Done. And I'm off. Boy, isn't it getting dark early, huh? What are we in now, October? Yeah, so I haven't really publicly said this, but I plan to do some more travelling in January. So if there's any subjects that you want me to cover before I go, and I don't know if you noticed there, but on both of my 2 deliveries I didn't lock my bike up. This one, the last one was probably safer than this one, although this area is a bit nicer than the last area, but I felt confident. As a general rule of thumb, I say if you can't see your bike, then lock it. Even if you can see your bike, if you don't feel safe, lock it. Go with your instincts, but err on the side of caution. But I felt confident here. But don't let me be a bad example. I'm not saying do as I say, not as I do. It's up to you. It's your own bike. It's the same as wearing a helmet. You know, I've made some videos where I'm not wearing a helmet. And I openly say that you should always wear a helmet. Even if I don't always wear a helmet, it doesn't mean, you know, I'm not you. I can't take responsibility for your actions. And I'm just putting my rear lights on there. I don't know why what's taking me so long, actually. I think I'm using my phone. I think I'm sending a message. I do get another order instantly. I just don't accept it for a moment. Just had to send a message. And I think in a little while I've moved the camera down a bit because it's a bit high. Because I haven't done this for a while, I didn't realise the optimal height. I got some more footage of Sunday, but Sunday was actually a really boring day. I spent a lot of time waiting. So if you want to see some of that boring footage, then say you want to see it. But if not, I might just delete it. Because I had a long wait at Nando's. Oh God, Nando's, they're killing me. So depending on who you speak to, sometimes in Nando's they insist that you use this intercom. And some of the managers, well, one of the manager pretty much said, look, if you want this food, come in and tell us. Don't use the intercom. I'm like, dude, seriously. I will do what you tell me to do, but please, just please, can you give me a bit of consistency? Because I don't want people looking at me like I'm putting you guys out, like I'm doing the wrong thing, I'm getting in your way. I don't want that. I'll wait for the food if I have to. But just treat me with the respect of just being consistent with what you're telling us to do. And of course that hasn't happened. So some people say, oh, wait outside, wait outside. Don't come inside. This door's supposed to be closed all of the time. But with lots of staff, I know it's difficult to be consistent, but it's just a pain in the arse, and I just get frustrated with people. It's quite funny, actually. She did apologise, so I can't really criticise her, but on Sunday I went into Nando's, and I don't even know if my camera died before this happened. But I went into Nando's and I said, I don't know why I didn't use the intercom. I think the door was open, so I think I wanted to use the bathroom perhaps. So I wanted to use the bathroom, and then as I was coming out I said, hi, this is my number. And she said, wait. And she turned around to get it, and then one of the managers was walking from the restaurant to the kitchen. And she said, can I take your number? I said, no, the other lady, she's dealing with me. And she said, oh, can you wait outside then? And I was like, well, she told me to wait here, but you want me to wait outside? I'll go. And she went, no, sorry. I was like, well, yeah. Another little Deliveroo there. Here, this scooter, I'm pretty sure he goes through a red light. It'll be good to double check, actually. I think he goes through a red light. And this dick in the 4x4 obviously wants to block everybody. He's like, shall I block the cyclist or shall I park on the hatched area? Maybe he just doesn't care. Who cares? This is a terrible junction. I say terrible, I mean just busy, but it can get a bit ugly here. There you go. Pretty sure he went for a red. He saw me come in and he still went. Like, I was safe. He didn't get anywhere near me. Like, I'm not one of these people to chase... Well, I have chased people in the past. But I'm not one of these people to chase him down just because he broke the rules. Like, live and let live, I say. But he didn't put me at danger. Like, I had enough common sense not to go into his path because I knew what he was going to do. Well, I could guess what he was going to do. So... yeah, I mean, my apologies if I came across as bitter earlier when Mr. George Scumbag, when I was talking about that. One, I had to say something because I said to him, do you want me to reply to you? And he did want me to reply to it. But you need to bear in mind, yeah, my time isn't free. Yet I give it away practically free. Doing one of these videos, I have to record it, I have to upload it onto my computer, I have to import it into the video editing software. Last year I purchased video editing software specifically for Deliveroo. Sometimes I use the free YouTube app, but anything that requires editing, especially for longer videos, I have to use a premium, well, not necessarily premium, but I have to use a paid-for video editing program so I can do it efficiently. And that isn't free. It takes me however long the video is to do the audio for it. I have to edit the video if there are any private details in there that I have to cut out. So every video is going to take hours. And I've got something like over 100 videos. So I mean, am I really a scumbag? Really? And I think more than being bitter, I literally found that so amusing. This right here, yeah, I wouldn't say that I was in a bad mood during this shift. Like, I was in a pretty, happy mood. And the guy in the kitchen clicked his fingers at me because I swiped to say I had arrived, and I think it was this time. Maybe it was after. I'm pretty sure it was this time. I swiped to say it arrived, and the app just wasn't updating. I don't know if it was a problem with my phone or what, but the app just was not updating. And I was waiting for the number to come up, and she said, "What's your number?" I was like, "Oh, wait, it's just updating." And the guy in the kitchen clicked his fingers at me like hurry me up. It's like not a good idea to do that to me. I don't think he meant anything bad, but anyway, this has got to be the record for the shortest delivery, or it's got to be in the top 10 for the shortest deliveries, honestly. Just wait and see how close this one is. So I'm just putting the pizzas in, and I don't know if the camera gets it, because like I said before, the camera's a little bit high. I do adjust it soon. I think the reason why I've been a bit delayed in doing everything is because I was working out how I wanted to use my bag, the inner bag, because I do use that as well. And I think I was messing around storing it underneath my saddle when I don't actually need to do that. I realised that I don't need to do that. And I'm off. And I'm kind of looking at it going, what? No. Really? Really, really? Really, really, really? But I can't really complain. It would have been better if there was a tip, of course. But as far as deliveries go, I could do that all day long. All day long. All day and all night. The delay is me going, is it really over there? I probably took longer hesitating than I did delivering it. And I think I'm walking just because I wanted to see what the name of that road is across the road. Because sometimes when you look at the map, it's difficult to see which way is north or which way you are. So I didn't know it was down one of these side streets, and I didn't realise if it was that one or the one that I'm looking at just up there. And that's why I'm hesitating here. And then I go, no, actually, it is that one right in front of me. So what's that? I don't know, what's that, about 25 metres? 25, is that right? About 25, 30 metres? Dun dun dun! You have arrived at your destination. That's pretty awesome. And as with most apartment building type places, it's very rare that there be somebody working in the evening, but if there is somebody on reception, it's also pretty rare that they have a problem with you bringing your bike in. I think maybe once I've had an issue, but I mean, if you apply to them, most of the time, the people that work on reception are really friendly. Yeah, I can't really complain about that at all. I think here is where I realise that my camera's too high. Okay, so I'm just coming back out. Probably wouldn't mind, but it's not really my place to say in the video. Oh. Yeah, I feel better about cutting that out. I think what I'm doing here is, this is how sad the life of a Deliveroo rider can be. I'm messaging people in our chat group to say how close that delivery was. It can get a little, well, I wouldn't go as far as saying lonely, but it's nice to have some kind of conversation with people whilst you work, and sometimes you can only achieve that through a chat app. But it's really handy. I mean, if your area doesn't have a chat app, and I must admit, I did try to start a Facebook group when I first started, but it didn't catch on. And then somebody started a WhatsApp group, and that caught on instantly. But you get some really good updates. Like, I use it to tell people if I see anything dodgy, and it's nice to see that people use it for banter, important updates, just good stuff. I think only once there's been any negativity on there, and that's when we had a bit of a character that no longer works for Deliveroo. He was a funny one. Oh, this camera doesn't really pick it up. I might use it as the... Yeah, I know, there be comments. I'm taking a picture whilst riding my bike. I know. Send your letters to... Anyway, what was I saying? Yeah, there was a really cool sunset, and you can't really see it that well on this camera, but on my phone it looked a lot better. But as you can see, I mean, I would say most people hammer it around working for Deliveroo, but, you know, you can get the job done. As long as you don't waste too much time, you can get the job done pretty easily and not absolutely cane it. But bearing in mind that my brakes are still on at the moment, like for this whole shift. It's like riding a resistance bike. Not really supposed to ride here, but as I always say, I think if you're, in general, I think if you ride respectfully, I don't really get any problems. Only once, when it was last year, somebody lost their shit with me. Some old guy jumped in front of me. I was like, "You can't ride here!" And I almost hit him because he jumped in front of... Actually, I didn't almost hit him at all. I stopped within plenty of time and then went round him because I was riding so slowly. Crazy old guy. Some people like to complain for the sake of complaining. Yes, I'm talking about you, Mr. Scumbag George. I wasn't, but it was a nice little... It fitted in quite nicely. So as you can see, I've got my flashing light going. I think it was last week or the week before, somebody shouted out of their car window, "Turn that flashing light off!" And I think a few years ago, maybe it was longer than a few years ago, there was a widely accepted belief that flashing lights on bikes were illegal, and they aren't. So I just ignored him. Actually, I was a little bit surprised. I was a little bit shocked. It's like, yes, you in your metal-surrounded comfy seat is complaining about the fact that I am highly visible. But he was an older guy, and I think people of that generation probably were the people who were the main culprits of spreading this belief about flashing lights being illegal. And I know there are stipulations within the law, like I think it says something like if you have a flashing light on the front, you have to have a flashing light on the back, I think. Something like that. But anyway, I can't say I care that much anyway. I try to aim it pretty low so it doesn't bother people. The light in itself is about 4 years old, and I didn't use it for over 6 months, so the battery is so low anyway, and the battery, the light itself isn't that great anyway, so I don't know what his beef was. Anyway, I'm in KFC, and in KFC you have to use your black inner bag. They state that in the, or I'm not saying every KFC is like that, but in Reading, it's very, I think I'm just checking my camera here. It's very, is militant the right word? They are very, dictatorial. They like their rules in KFC, and I've never had a problem, but a lot of people in the group chat have had problems with people in KFC just being a dick, really. But so good. Oh look, yeah, I hold this door. How many times does this happen to you? I hold the door open. She didn't even look at me, let alone say thank you. And I'm like, what? That's not cool. It happened to me yesterday too. It's not cool. So I don't know if you just saw that. I wasn't really paying much attention, but I had a question recently. What lock do I use? And you could just see there that I use quite a beefy chain, and I use a it was in Homebase and it was reduced. I think it was about a tenner. It's quite a beefy lock. It's a strong lock. It's a strong chain. But my bike's never left for any great period of time at the house. I do leave it outside, but it's locked with 2 locks whilst it's outside the house, and it's anchored to the ground. That I am, put it this way, I've never been concerned about someone stealing my bike where I live. Although saying that, somebody did steal my emergency light off the front, which is really annoying because that was such a cute little light. It was one of those that just plugged into a USB. It didn't have a cable, it just plugged in. Like the back of the light was the USB. It was so handy. It was my fault. I shouldn't have left it on my bike. But never mind. It was cute. I can't remember what brand it was, but I liked it. Yeah, in an ideal world. Why did KFC do that? They get the drinks ready. Like, what is up? I mean, I wouldn't eat in KFC anyway, but what is up with that? Like, surely the ice melts and makes it all minging? I don't know. Yeah, in an ideal world, you would have a light to be visible and a light to see, because very, very often I will be in areas which don't have street lights. But if I had the choice of the two between seeing and being seen, I would go with being seen and just be extra cautious. How much have we got left of this? I think we've got 10 minutes, maybe. I might cut it off. I think I do one more delivery, and then I go and collect, and I go to deliver, and it cuts off some point. So if there's a natural stopping point, then I'll stop. But I definitely make the next delivery. I can't even remember where I'm going now. You might get a look at the chain. Another Deliveroo. We do dominate the streets, I have to say. Friday, Saturday night, Sunday lunchtime. The streets are covered in green. And I'm off. 5-0. Hello. Driving down pedestrianised road. So I've only ever had a problem with the police once, and that was last year. I've probably already talked about that. It wasn't really a problem. He just gave me a slap on the wrist, not literally. So a few weeks ago, it was raining hard. And I was trying to cross the road, and it was like a 2 lanes on each side of the road. And this light, I never... Where are we? Oh, maybe I don't make this delivery. I think I do. We'll see. This light up here, I never stop for this red light. It's just so stupid. It's so easy to go through. And because there's such a big waiting period in between each light, I think it's because it's so pedestrianised that I can just... And it's downhill as well, which means I've got an extra boost. But I never stop here. Unless there's physically cars going through it, I don't stop. But that happens like less than 10% of the time you get to that junction and there'll be cars going through it. Because the waiting periods are just so long. It's stupid. It's quite entertaining. No, I won't go into that. That's personal. It's about a delivery rider. It doesn't matter. What are we talking about? Yeah, the police. So I was trying to cross this road, and I was waiting to cross this road for a couple of minutes, and it was raining. I say a couple of minutes. It's probably more like 30 seconds, but it feels like longer. And the cars were coming in dribs and drabs, like just not big enough to go through, across the road. And so what I did, and I put my hands up, and I say I was completely wrong. It was late at night. It was definitely after 9 p.m. No, hardly any cars on the road. So for about 10 meters, I was cycling next to the curb, but on the wrong side of the road, because there were 2 lanes. And I was just about to go, because just after this car, I was just about to go. So I was only going down the road the wrong way for about 10 meters. And then this car pulls in front of me, and I'm like, what the hell? Is this one of those... Oh, look, check up here on the left. This is like a Deliveroo hangout. Oh, sorry, I don't mean hangout. I mean they're waiting for Nando's. When it's busy, you can wait a while at Nando's, and I'm sure you already know that. Anyway, so this car pulls in front of me and stops, and I'm like, oh, don't tell me it's one of one of these "you can't do that" people that get all up in your face and stuff. And they get a bit closer, and I realise it's an unmarked police car. And she says, "Do you know you're on the wrong side of the road?" And I explained it to her. I said, "Look, it's raining. I'm freezing cold. I was waiting." And I did lie. I said I was waiting there for a couple of minutes. And I said, "I apologise profusely. I'm completely in the wrong." And she said, "Okay, fine." And then she went off. Yeah, I'm a bad person. Okay, scumbag George. I am a scumbag. Oh, what am I going to do? Anyway, what is the deal with this troll mentality? I mean, really, I must admit, I see some things on YouTube that wind me up, and I always comment. Like, if I comment, I always do it in a construct. Oh, here I put the hammer down because I'm in the middle of these two cars, and my bike starts making this funny noise, like something hit it. That's why I keep looking down. Like I don't know what it was. It didn't feel any different. It just felt like something hit the drive chain, like hit the chain ring or something. I was a bit worried about it, but it was fine. Yeah, what is up with like the troll mentality to like say things that you wouldn't say to people's faces? Like as a general rule of thumb, I like to think that I don't say things to people online that I wouldn't say to their face. I don't know. It's like when people get on a keyboard. I think everyone's probably guilty of that a little bit, but I actively try not to. What was I talking about before that? It's getting a bit dark now. And I think I might be going to the university. So I'm not sure if I make it. I might wrap this up at the next junction. Let's see if I go left or right up here. I can't even remember where I'm going. Pretty sure it's the university, but actually I'm adamant it's the university. And I think it's the campus that I hate the most. If I turn right up here, then I'll finish this off because it's just a boring dark hill. Anyway, yeah, it is. So let's wrap this up. What? You want more of these? The Sunday footage was really boring. I think I only did a few deliveries because I had to wait so long at each place. Yeah, no, I'm just going to delete the Sunday footage. If you want more, I'll do more. But I'm not using yesterday's footage because it was just so boring. I think I went to Treats and waited there for about 15 minutes. I waited like, I think almost 25 minutes at Nando's because I had a double. And I had to wait like maybe 5 or 10 minutes at the fancy Nepalese restaurant too because I had a double there, and they weren't prepared for a double. They thought I was only there for one. So it's almost an hour of waiting, so I'm not even going to bother with that. Okay, so yeah, give me your thoughts. I would be interesting to see if other people think I'm a scumbag. Just for the comedy value, I don't necessarily place my value in other people's opinion of me, so it's all good, you can be honest. Yeah, if you want more of these, then let me know. Yeah, take it easy.